Hello, hi everyone. Welcome to a new live stream. Hello, hello, hi everyone. Welcome to a new live stream. Hola a todos. Bienvenidos a un nuevo en vivo. ¿Cómo están? Espero que estén muy bien. Today we are going to learn a few things about the verb ganar, 5 different uses or meanings of the verb ganar. Ganar. Do you know its meaning? It's a very common Spanish verb and it can be used in different ways and in different situations. Before we get started, don't forget to subscribe and also click on the bell icon so you can get notified every time I live stream. I want to give a big shout out to our Cafecito members, Brianna L., Nick Ross, James Mullin, Robert Green, Michael Lee, Gregory Ramirez, Ralph Marquez, Ruby Brockenberry, Christopher Michael, William Lopez, David Beaver, and David Beaver. Thank you guys. El cafecito está muy delicioso. Muchas gracias por el apoyo. Thank you so much for the support, Cafecito members. If you like what I do, you can also become a Cafecito member. The only thing you gotta do is click on the join button down below to read about the perks, the fee, which is a monthly fee. It's like less than $3 a month. And essentially, you're buying me a cup of coffee, un cafecito, and also you're supporting this channel. Thank you again, Cafecito members. Excellent. So, let's do this. Let's talk about this verb. By the way, before we start talking about this verb, I'm live streaming. You know that, right? So you can use the live chat if you want to ask any question, if you want to share some examples, if you want to say hola, you can do that as well. So feel free to use the live chat for all of that. The only thing you gotta do is you need to subscribe to this channel. That's for free. So if you want to use that live chat, you need to be a subscriber. So click on that subscribe button. It's free. I see hands. How are you? Hola, maestra. Hola, ¿cómo estás? ¿Cómo estás, Hans? ¿Todo bien? ¿Cómo va la vida? Espero que todo esté excelente. Bienvenido. Welcome. Okay, so let's get started. Let's talk about the verb ganar. Ganar. Okay, so what does this mean? Let's learn its basic meaning first, and then we will progress. We will talk about other uses of the verb. Actually, we're gonna learn 5 meanings of this verb, different ways to use this single verb. Okay, so ganar. Let's see what we have here. Okay. Perfect. We have our brush ready. Excellent. Muy bien. Excelente, Hans. Excelente. Okay, so the first thing we have here is, well, obviously, ganar. Ganar has 2 meanings. One is to win, and the second one is to earn. Those 2 meanings are very common, obviously in Spanish as they are in English, but ganar can be used to say to win and to earn in Spanish. Okay, so those 2 meanings are very basic, the basic meanings of ganar. For example, gano $3,000 al mes. You know what? Let's add this symbol there. Gano $3,000 al mes. I mean, we could remove dólares, right? Because we have the symbol here, but let's just have it like that. Okay? Gano $3,000 al mes. It seems to be that we're talking about money. We're talking about money. So let's look at the translation. I earn $3,000 a month. I earn $3,000 a month. That's I think, I don't know if that's average, but it's just an example. If you want to say, I earn this much money, or whatever, specifically we're talking about money, how much money you earn or some other people earn. Okay, so let's break this down and let's see how this sentence works. Okay, remember, we don't use personal pronouns all the time. So essentially you're saying yo gano, but we don't need yo. You can say gano, okay? Gano. Yo gano, tú ganas, él gana, nosotros ganamos, ustedes ganan. Let me tell you that the verb ganar is a regular verb. So you don't have to worry about, oh my God, it's irregular, it has its own conjugation. No, don't worry about that. It is a regular verb. Someone asked me recently, something about irregulars, regular verbs, like how many are there? How many irregular verbs are there in Spanish? Man, there are so many. There's so many. You have to pay attention to each verb and just see if they're irregular or regular. Just as in English, there's some irregular verbs. So you have to pay attention to that. It's specifically when, conjugating verbs, we're talking about that. Are they irregular? Do they follow grammatical rules or not? Or they do whatever they want? So you have to pay attention to it. It's just a hard question to answer. There's not really a way to know, there's a key to know which ones are regular or irregular. You have to learn the verb and just to see if they are, each one of them, are regular or irregular. Okay. Let's move on. Okay. Gano, I earn, gano, 3,000. Ooh. Do you know how to say all the numbers in Spanish? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Those are, simple basic numbers, but how about, 100, 200, 300, 1,000, 2,000, 1,000,000, 1,000,000,000, 5,000. So there, of course, it can get complicated, but 3,000 means 3,000. Okay, 5,000, 5,000. 10,000, 10,000. Okay, so you have to, for sure, you have to pay attention to how to say numbers in Spanish and amounts, of course. So 3,000 is 3,000. $3,000. Dólares means dollars. Okay. If you want to say specifically American dollars, Canadian dollars, you can say, of course, that in Spanish. Dólares americanos, that's American dollars. Dólares canadienses, Canadian dollars, of course. There are terms for such things. But if you say $3,000, I mean, it's a common thing to say in America, right? You don't say 3,000 American dollars all the time. So dólares can refer to American dollars, of course. $3,000, $3,000 al mes means per month or a month, okay? So that's the meaning of al mes. Essentially, you're saying a el mes, but we don't have a el, we don't have this in Spanish. We don't have that because month is masculine and it's a noun. So you could use the definite article el mes de enero, the January, or I mean, you can say el mes de enero, so that means January. Some people in Spanish say that, el mes de, and then you say the month, right? And you're technically saying the month of January. Technically, that's what you're saying. But anyways, we don't have a el in Spanish. When that happens, it becomes al mes, okay? Al mes, al año, a la semana. Well, that's different when you say, month, year, or week. Al mes means a month. You can say al año, of course, and that means a year or per year, okay? You can say also per week or, weekly. So that will be a la semana. Why aren't we saying al semana? That's because semana is feminine. So you don't need the masculine definite article el, you need la. So when you say la, you don't need to say al. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So it can be tricky, but you need to learn the phrases and terms. Of course, you have to. Okay. Excellent. So we are saying al mes, al mes. That, by the way, a la semana means weekly or per week. Weekly. Okay. Excellent. But we had al mes. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for becoming a member, Regulation D. Thank you. Thank you. Welcome. 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 Okay. So al mes is a month, per month. Okay. Excellent. Let's just put per month. There you go. Excellent. So let's move on. Let's move on. Of course, the verb ganar is right here. You can see it at the beginning of the sentence. Yo gano. Okay. So in this situation, it means I earn. Okay. Or to earn money. Excellent. Yeah. Hello. Hola. Okay. Excellent. Let's move on. Let's look at the next example. Let's see how we can use the verb ganar in a different situation. Acabo de ganarme una televisión. Acabo de ganarme una televisión. Una televisión. Ganarme. By the way, this can be said ganarme. Like in this situation, you can say ganarme or ganar. Acabo de ganar or acabo de ganarme. So essentially, you can use, in this particular situation, you can use the verb ganar in a reflexive way with reflexive pronouns, or you can just say, don't add the reflexive pronoun, and you can just say acabo de ganar una televisión. So anyways, let's see what this phrase, or rather sentence, means. This means I just won a television, a TV. Well, that's very nice. Sometimes that happens. Anyways, so let's break this down. Let's see how it works. Yo acabo. You can say yo acabo. Okay. Acabo is a great Spanish word. That means I just. When you say yo acabo, that means I just. Okay. I just, when, something happens. I just saw this person I don't know, eta café. I just won a television. I just ate a hamburger. I don't know. You can use it in many different ways. You don't have to say yo. You can just say acabo dot dot dot. And you need to include de. Acabo de. Okay, so acabo de, and then you add a verb, an action. Acabo de comer una pizza. I just ate, pizza, or just a whole pizza. It depends, right? Maybe you ate a slice or the whole pizza. Who knows? Acabo de dormirme. I just fell asleep. Okay, so acabo de is a great phrase that means I just did something, right? So what happened? What's the action? Ganarme. As I told you before, you can include the reflexive pronoun me or not. Okay, in this situation, you can say acabo de ganar una televisión or acabo de ganarme una televisión. So that means acabo de ganarme means I just won. Okay, I just won something. And obviously this is not in past tense. In English it is, but that's because in Spanish you cannot say this in past tense because it's just how it works in Spanish, specifically when using the phrase acabo de comer, acabo de dormir, acabo de ganar, acabo de viajar. Okay, so you pretty much leave the verb in the infinitive form, which means do not conjugate it, or you can add reflexive pronouns, like in this situation. Acabo de ganarme. Una means a. It's an indefinite article, una, and una is feminine as well. Why is it feminine? Because the noun televisión, which means television, is feminine. It looks like a masculine noun, but it's actually feminine. La televisión. Una televisión. Okay? So that's why we have the feminine indefinite article. Una. Okay? So excellent. Acabo de ganarme una televisión. I just won a television. So very interesting. Ganar here means to earn, and ganar here means to win. Okay? So that is very good. And just remember, those are some basic meanings of the verb ganar. If you want to say, I earned this much money, you can say that. Or if you want to say, I just won, or I win, or I will win, you can use the verb ganar for that as well. Okay? Excellent. So let's move on. Do you have any questions? Any questions? Any questions? Man, ganar is a good verb. It is pretty good. Okay. Feel free to just leave your questions, or you can ask me anything about what we're learning at any point. I will read your questions at some point. I will answer your questions at some point. If you see me, talking and not answering your question, don't worry, I will get to it. Okay. Excellent. Let's move on. Let's see what we have here. Ganar. Let's see another meaning of ganar. Ganar. This is not like translation or a specific meaning, we are talking that you can use the verb ganar if you want to express some sense of achievement, we're not talking specifically about winning something, like a television or money or something like that. We're talking about achievements, which that's also very important to express in every language. So ganar can be used in those situations. For example, él ganó fama por cantar bien. Él ganó fama por cantar bien. This means he gained fame, or he became famous for singing well. Okay, so this person has a talent. Okay, he can sing. He can sing, and he became famous. That is a very that's an achievement for sure. That is an achievement. So let's break this down and let's see how the verb ganar works in this situation. Él, obviously you don't have to say él, but you can say it, of course. You can just say ganó. Okay, ganó. But if you're starting to talk about someone, it's a common thing to say, you can say él or the name of the person, just to be specific. Obviously you wanna say a, like he in particular, he is famous because of whatever, right? So yeah, you can say él ganó. And when talking about becoming famous, you can say, él ganó fama. Ganar fama. So I'm just going to add this here. Ganar fama. Fama is fame. That means, fama means fame. La fama, the fame, or just fame. When you say this expression, ganar fama, that means you become, or to become famous, to gain fame. Okay, so that's what we're talking about here. So, él ganó fama means he gained fame, or he became famous. Por means for. You're explaining why the person is famous. Cantar por cantar. This means for singing in this particular situation. Por cantar bien. Cantar bien means singing well, or to sing well. Okay, so this is another verb. Cantar means to sing. Okay, why aren't we using the gerund here in Spanish? Because singing is a gerund, and it comes from the verb to sing and singing, because Spanish is not English. So you gotta phrase it differently. Okay, so when you're talking about someone becoming famous because something else, because they do certain things, then it's a common thing to say por cantar, por cocinar, por correr, por hablar, por manejar. So what you do here, you need to add the action or the verb in the infinitive form, not the gerund, infinitive, the infinitive, which means do not conjugate the verb, just leave it as is. So bien is an adjective. I know that some people get confused when saying bien, or they don't know when to use bien and bueno. And when talking about actions, that you do well, you say bien. You use the adjective bien. Bien can also be, bien is an adverb. So Bien. Bueno is an adjective. Okay, so bien is, it means well. It also means good. When someone tells you, ¿Cómo estás? How are you? You can say bien, bien. You don't say bueno. You say bien, bien. Bien means I'm well, I'm good, you are well. When doing something right, when you do things well, you can also use the adverb bien, okay? Cantar bien, to sing well. Cocinar bien, to cook well. So, or, this person is famous for cooking well. Okay, so just remember that. That's an important difference. You cannot say cantar bueno por cantar bueno. That's wrong. You need to say bien, bien. Okay, él ganó fama por cantar bien. He gained fame for singing well. He became famous for singing well. Excellent. So the verb ganar is right here. Okay. Interesting. Okay. Let's look at the next example. And let's see. Yeah, just let's look at the next example. That's what I wanted to say. Ellos ganaron el objetivo por el que tanto trabajaron. Ellos ganaron el objetivo por el que tanto trabajaron. Interesting. This means they achieved the goal they worked so hard for. Okay, so that's a common thing. People work really hard to achieve things. Okay, so you can use the verb ganar in those situations. Ellos means they. Ganaron, achieved, similar to saying achieved here, right? El objetivo, objetivo, the goal. Oh my, why is it? Oh my, what's happening? The goal, right? Por él, por can be used in different situations, of course. When saying they achieved the goal, you're technically saying for what they worked so hard for. That's the translation. In Spanish, it's a common thing to do, Por el que, or por el que, that refers to the, the objective. And, you're just emphasizing that they worked for something really hard, So, por el que ellos tanto trabajaron. We don't need ellos. We need, trabajaron, which means worked. They worked. Trabajaron means they worked. Okay. Tanto means in this situation, so hard. And por el que, similar to for. Okay. We don't have it at the end. We have it in the middle. Okay. So that is a very interesting thing to note, how the Spanish sentence structure works. It's different from the English one for sure. So when you say ellos trabajaron, ellos ganaron el objetivo por el que tanto trabajaron. They achieved the goal they worked so hard for. Okay, so interesting stuff for sure. We're not talking about, winning at the lottery or winning, I don't know, anything like a TV, like we were talking about a few minutes ago. We're talking about achievements. So there isn't a specific translation when, in this particular situation, because it can mean something similar to it's similar to achieve or to gain something or become famous. It depends on the situation. What is the achievement about, right? So it depends. But you can use the verb ganar for those situations. Okay, where is this? Okay. I don't know what happened. Layers and layers. Okay, excellent. Remember, ganar conveys the sense of achievement. Excellent. Do you guys have any questions? Any questions? I see some comments and questions. Hence, I was wondering why television was feminine. Thank you for explaining. Yeah, I know. There are some Spanish nouns that they look masculine because you have the O at the end, and usually when you have an O at the end of a noun, that's usually masculine. But there are exceptions, and television is one of them. La televisión. Okay, la televisión. Great question. Nexus. Buenos días. Hello, Nexus. Buenos días. Oh, well, here it's not like morning. It's more like evening, but welcome. Bienvenido or bienvenida. Is there a trick to knowing masculine and feminine? It sometimes seems random unless it's obvious, like tienda or libro. Yeah, just as I said before, there are exceptions. So some nouns don't follow rules. And I actually have a lesson about that, masculine and feminine. Usually feminine nouns end with the letter A, feminine nouns. La tienda, la casa, la comida, la empresa, okay? And masculine nouns end with the letter O, el libro, el estadio, el, I don't know, el coche, okay? So, yeah, well, coche ends in E, okay? That's another thing. There are some nouns that end with the letter E, like coche, or grande. Well, that's an adjective, not a noun. But, el coche, that is masculine. Sometimes, nouns, when they end in E, they can be masculine. Usually they are masculine, but there are exceptions. So exceptions don't follow rules. So I cannot tell you a rule to follow. You just need to learn them, la televisión. But yeah. Azúcar ganó fama por español lecciones. Lecciones de español. Really? Well, that's nice. That's nice. Thank you, Hans. I don't know if I'm famous. I don't think I am. But thank you so much for the kind comment. And for sharing an example. That's great. So Nexus asks, so is this another way to say become? Yes, it is, but it depends. If you're talking about becoming famous, the term, ganar fama, that means to become famous. It's similar to saying to become famous, but it doesn't apply sometimes to other things, sometimes ganar means to achieve, so it all depends on the situation on the situation, sorry. Excellent. Lori, who? Oh, Lori, yeah. Welcome, Lori. Okay. Let's move on. Let's move on. Thank you for your questions and comments. Okay. So, meaning number 3. Let's see what we have. I don't know what we have. Well, I do. I do, but I worked on this lesson last week, so I don't remember all of it, but I do remember most of it. Anyways, ganar, oops, man, ganar, ganarse, also means to earn, but we're not talking about money. We're talking about things like trust, when you earn someone's trust. So that you're not talking about earning money. We're talking about something more complex, okay? And this is when it gets a little tricky because now we're talking about some complicated situations or advanced situations, Spanish vocabulary, the way to express yourself a little bit more advanced, it's more advanced, but it's not that complicated. Remember when you have se at the end of a verb, like this one right here, that means that it can be used with reflexive pronouns, se, me, te, nos, okay, le, os in Spain because of vosotros. And you have the reflexive pronoun os, okay? So very interesting. That's what it means. Ganar, we still have the verb here. Ganar, okay? So let's see how we can use this verb in those particular situations. Okay. So, tienes que ganarte mi confianza. Okay? Tienes que ganarte mi confianza. So, it looks a bit more complex. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? So the translation is, you have to earn my trust. Okay? That's pretty much it. That's the translation. So it's a short sentence, but it can be complicated, Maybe you made a mistake. You're dating someone, you made a mistake, and that person doesn't trust you anymore. So the person can say, tienes que ganarte mi confianza. You have to earn my trust. So you work hard to earn something that is not tangible, okay? Like trust. Trust, you cannot buy it, you cannot touch it. You need to work hard to get it, to earn it. So, tienes, tú tienes. We don't need tú, but we need tienes. So, tienes means you have. You have. Okay? When you add que after the verb tienes, you're adding more to the sentence. If you say tienes, obviously you can use this word for in other situations. For example, you can say, ¿tienes dinero? Do you have money? You can also answer, tengo dinero. I have money. Okay, so that's very simple. But when you want to add more, specifically other action to the sentence, then que is a common conjunction that will help you do that, okay? Tienes que comer, you have to eat. Tienes que trabajar, you have to work. So we're adding more, another action to the sentence. Tienes que estudiar, you have to study. So technically, que in this situation means to. Okay, you have to do something. Tienes que. Ganarte. Ganarte is the action, the second action, the second verb. And ganarte, obviously, means to earn in this situation. So earn. We have the verb ganar, and then we just added a reflexive pronoun. Okay, so te refers to you. You have to. We're talking about, we're saying this to someone, okay? You're not using the reflexive action on me. You, it's you. Tienes que ganarte. So you have to earn. You have to earn, okay? Me means my, okay? My, me. And then we have confianza, 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 confianza. That means trust. It's a very long word compared to the English one, but that's the way it is. La confianza, the trust or trust. Okay? So, tienes que ganarte mi confianza. You have to earn my trust. Okay, so very interesting. Very good, very good. I like it. Okay, so the next example is: me gané la oportunidad de viajar por un año alrededor del mundo. Me gané la oportunidad de viajar por un año alrededor del mundo. So this is a bit more complicated. It is a bit more complicated, but it's not that difficult. If you know how the sentence works, it gets easier. So let's talk about that. I earned the chance to travel around the world for a year. That's an amazing opportunity. That is amazing. So you can use the verb ganar in that kind of situation. Once again, you're earning things that you cannot touch. Okay? So like trust, opportunity, I don't know, an offer, because you worked hard, because you were there. I don't know. A lot of things can happen for sure. But let's break this down. Yo me gané. So why are we saying me gané? Reflexive pronouns can go in front of verbs, okay? So once again, remember, we can use reflexive pronouns with this verb. So that's why we have me gané. You can say yo me gané. You don't have to say yo, but you need to say me gané, okay? Reflexive pronouns are necessary. When they have to be used, you have to have them, okay? So just remember that. Me gané means I earned, okay? La, an article, feminine. It means the. This is a long one. Oportunidad. 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 Chance or opportunity. Okay? It has more than one meaning. De, in English, you can say to do something. The chance to do something. In Spanish, you say la oportunidad de. De means of or from. So just keep that in mind. We cannot translate word by word from English into Spanish because it doesn't work all the time. So la oportunidad de, and then you add an action. In this situation, to travel. Okay, so you're going somewhere, you travel. Viajar, viajar means to travel. So when you want to say, me gané la oportunidad, that means I earned a chance, if you want to say that in Spanish. De, and then add an action. For example, me gané la oportunidad de trabajar. I earned the chance to work dot 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 somewhere. Me gané la oportunidad de mudarme. I earned the chance, or I got the chance to move to, for example, another city. So this is a very good expression that you can say, I earned the chance, or I got the chance to do something. So viajar in this situation, as I said, means to travel or just travel. Por, remember to add the action after the, or the verb, in the infinitive form. Do not translate the verb, okay? Por un año, this whole sentence here, por un año, means for a year. Okay, so just remember the whole thing. And it's a literal translation here. Por means for, un means a, año means year. Okay, por un año, for a year. Alrededor, alrededor means around. Okay, alrededor, around. Del mundo. So when you say alrededor del mundo, that means around the world. I know it doesn't translate from English into Spanish. It's not a literal translation. So you need to learn the phrase alrededor del mundo, around the world. Okay? Del means, del is a fusion, or it's actually two words that became one. De él, de él. We do not have this in Spanish. If you want to say de él in Spanish, is wrong. You need to remove the one E and make it one word. Del mundo. Okay? So de means of or from. El, article, masculine article, definite article, that means the. Mundo, mundo means world. El mundo, the world. Okay, so it's very interesting. Ganarse, remember, ganarse means to earn something that you cannot touch, something that is more like trust or chances, or love, even, feelings. So actually love is a noun. Okay, so confianza is a noun. Amor is a noun. Amor means love, by the way. And oportunidad is also a noun. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Excellent. Excellent. Do you guys have any questions? Any questions? Interesting. Interesting. I really like talking about verbs and words, Spanish words. In general, languages are great. I love them. That's awesome. Okay. I don't see any questions. Okay. I hope the stream is going well. Let's move on. Let's move on. We have another 2 minutes to go. So let's learn the next meaning. Okay. Ganarle a. Ganarle a. Ganarle a. This means to beat, If you feel competitive, or if you are competitive, this is the verb for you. because you can actually use it if you want to. For example, if you beat a game, a video game, you can use it. Or specifically, when you have some sort of competition, you have some competition. For example, you're playing soccer, you're playing basketball, you're playing video games with other people, and you can, beat those people, because you're better, you were faster, the sport, better than other people. You know how to play. You know what I'm talking about. We're talking about competition here. So let's see how this phrase slash verb works. Okay. María le ganó a Miguel. María le ganó a Miguel. Okay. So this means Maria beat Miguel. There's no accent marks in English. Okay, there you go. So, very simple, very simple. If someone asks, ¿Quién ganó? Who won? Or who beat who? Essentially, you can say this: María le ganó a Miguel. Maria beat Miguel. I mean, obviously, you can change the names. Obviously, Maria means Maria or Mary. Le ganó. Okay, so we have this reflexive pronoun here. Man, you cannot see it too well. We have this reflexive pronoun le. That means you can use it. Obviously, reflexive pronouns, as I said before, can be used before the verb, okay? Le ganó, or attached to the verb. In this situation, you did it in front. Le ganó, ella le ganó, or María le ganó. That means Maria beat, she won. We have a, right? Sometimes you might have to use a, ganarle a, okay? So, le ganó a Miguel. And then we have Miguel, which Miguel means Miguel, Michael. And I think, that's the English name, Michael. In Spanish, Miguel. Okay. So, María le ganó a Miguel. María beat Miguel. Well, good for Maria. That's awesome. Okay, so let's look at another example using ganarle a, or maybe we might not need a. Okay, so that's why I put it in brackets. Okay. Te gané. ¿Quieres jugar otra vez? Te gané. ¿Quieres jugar otra vez? Okay. So this means I beat you. Do you want to play again? Or do you want to play again? Okay. That's why I'm saying sometimes you don't have to say when you want to say this person beat other person, then you need a. Okay. Le ganó. Ella le ganó a él. You can also say ellos le ganaron a ella. Okay, so you can have different combinations for sure, but essentially, if you want to say, a, if you want to use a, then you need to have two people, at least two people, the winner and the loser. Pretty much, okay? But you can also say, te gané, you're celebrating. Te gané, I beat you. Yay! Te gané, yo te gané. Okay, so once again, you can use reflexive pronouns. Sometimes you will use le when you have two people and you're saying, hey, she beat him. Okay, so you will have this le very commonly in Spanish, very common in Spanish, sorry. But if you can also say, te gané, yo te gané. Okay, so that means I beat you. You don't need yo, but you need te. ¿Quieres? ¿Tú quieres? In questions, when you ask questions, you don't need to say tú quieres. Some people say it, but it's not a common thing to do in Spanish. You just use the verb first. ¿Quieres? ¿Tú quieres? ¿Quieres means do you want? ¿Quieres café? Do you want coffee? ¿Quieres agua? Do you want water? ¿Quieres jugar? Do you want to play? Okay, so do you want to play? Do you want to do something? That's what it means, quieres. Play in Spanish is jugar. Vamos a jugar. Let's play. Quiero jugar. I want to play. Jugar. Yo juego, tú juegas, él juega, and so on. So jugar means to play. ¿Quieres jugar means do you want to play? Otra vez, otra vez, otra vez is a great, great little phrase that means again. Okay? Otra vez. Again. Otra vez. That's a question. Again. Okay? So remember that one. It's a good one. Otra vez. The verb ganar, ganarle, or ganar plus reflexive pronoun is right here at the beginning. And we have ganar here as well. The verb ganar. Okay? So ganarle a means to beat. Okay? So when you're competitive, you can use this verb for sure. Excellent. 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 Excelente. Do you guys have any questions? Any questions? Hello, Fanesco. I don't know if I'm saying your username correctly. Welcome. Thank you for your help. You know it. No problem. De nada. I'm glad that you find this helpful. Welcome. Welcome. Okay. We have the last meaning, guys. The last meaning. Let's see what we have here. We have red. Oh boy. Layers, layers. Tener ganas de. So this is tricky because we're not technically using the verb ganar, but we're talking about ganas, okay? And ganas is kind of a very good noun. It's a very good noun that means something very specific, especially when you're saying tener ganas de. Tener ganas de. Okay? Ganas is very similar to the verb ganar, but it has a different meaning. Okay? So this is a noun. This is a noun. Ganas. Ganas. Las ganas. Las ganas means it's hard to translate this word, but essentially you're talking about desires. Okay? So tener ganas de is a common phrase in Spanish that means to feel like, when you're feeling like doing something, for example, when you're feeling like eating pizza, or when you're feeling like traveling, when you're feeling like going to a place, and so on. Okay, so you are just expressing what you're feeling like doing. You know, what do you want to do? Okay. Or eat. So yeah, specifically eating, man, this is a common phrase for that. Okay. So let's see what we have. Oh, by the way, tener. If you see this and you want to translate it literally, it doesn't translate. So tener comes from, actually, it's a verb. Tener is a verb and it means to have. Okay. Ganas means something similar to desire. So you have a desire. Okay. And de means of or from. So that's a weird literal translation, but it's similar to saying to feel like. Okay, as I said before. So let's look at some examples using this amazing phrase. Okay. Tengo ganas de comer tacos. Tengo ganas de comer tacos. Oof, tacos. Delicious. So this phrase, you probably know what this means, right? It's a simple phrase, simple sentence using the phrase we're learning. So tengo ganas de comer tacos means I feel like eating tacos. I feel like eating tacos too. Let's break this down. Tengo, yo tengo. We don't need yo, we need tengo. And then we add the rest of the phrase, ganas de, and that means I feel like. Okay, tengo ganas de. I feel like. And then you can add a verb right after. And that means, just let me fix this thing here. You cannot see the letter G. Okay. Okay. Comer means to eat or eating in this situation. Remember, English is a different language. So if you are asking or if you're wondering why don't we have comiendo in Spanish, because that's the gerund, no, it doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. So, tengo ganas de comer. You need the verb in the infinitive form. And in this situation, it's similar to saying eating. So you can say, tengo ganas, as I said before, tengo ganas de viajar. I feel like traveling. Tengo ganas de tomar algo. I feel like drinking something. Tomar, to drink, okay? Tengo ganas de comer. I feel like eating, okay? So, tacos, we add the noun tacos. Tacos means tacos, right? So there is no anything difficult there. So, tengo ganas de comer tacos. I feel like eating tacos. Obviously, you can change this with any other food you want to eat. For example, tengo ganas de comer pizza. I feel like eating pizza. Tengo ganas de comer, I don't know. What would you like to eat? Quesadillas. I feel like eating quesadillas. Okay. Tengo ganas de comer pasta. I feel like eating pasta. Okay. So very interesting. Very, very good. Very useful phrase for sure. Now let's look at the last example. Yeah. The last example. Tengo muchas ganas de darte un beso. Now we're not talking about food. We're talking about something else that you want to do, okay? Tengo muchas ganas de darte un beso, okay? So This means I really want to kiss you. The translation is different, I know, but it's similar to saying that. You're not saying I feel like kissing you. I mean, I guess you could, but it's very similar to saying I really want to do something. So you feel a desire to, just to, in this situation, to kiss someone, your partner, for example, your boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, and yeah, and so on. So let's break this down. Yo tengo, again, we're saying, yo tengo, and that means I, in this situation, want, right? But let's include all the phrase because we have something different going on here. Tengo ganas de. So that's the phrase. And that means I really want to, or I feel like, Muchas means really in this situation. But we're not talking about, that really, really? No, we're not talking about that kind of really. We're talking about, an intense feeling or desire to do something. Tengo muchas ganas de, I really want to do something. Okay? Really want to do something. In this situation, when you say darte un beso, that means kiss you. Okay? Dar un beso means to kiss. Okay? You can also say besar. Besar is the verb and it means to kiss as well. But essentially you're saying to give you a kiss. That's what you're saying here. So dar means to give. When you add the definite article, the reflexive pronoun te, so you're saying you want to give something to someone, to you in this situation, darte, to give you, pretty much. Un means a. Beso means my arrows are terrible. I'm so sorry. Beso, kiss. Okay. I really want to give you a kiss. That's the translation. But also it's similar to saying I really want to kiss you. Okay. Excellent. Excellent. Beso, el beso. That means the kiss. So technically the band Kiss, the translation in Spanish, the Spanish translation would be El Beso. The rock band Kiss, El Beso. That's so cute. I like it. I like it. Anyways, so tener ganas de, remember, tener ganas de means when you really feel like doing something or you have some sort of desire, okay? You really want to do something. So we could be talking about food or actions as well. Excellent. Do you guys have any questions? Any questions at all? This is the end of the lesson. Carne asada, I see. Yeah, that's could be, yeah. If you feel like eating that, for sure. Tengo ganas de comer carne asada. Asada. Yep. That's a great example. You can say that. You can say that. Yeah, that's correct. That's correct. Excellent. Okay, so remember that I try to stream every week. So if you want YouTube to notify you every time I live stream, please click on the bell notification icon next to the subscribe button and just turn all the notifications on so YouTube lets you know every time I live stream. I hope you liked this lesson. If you liked it, please give it a like. Give it a like. That helps me a lot. And remember, I have a Spanish community on Discord. You can join for free, and you can find the link in the video description down below. I'm part of that community. The thing though is you need to read the rules before joining the community, because otherwise you can get kicked out if you don't follow the rules. So just do that if you want to join the community. Yeah. And well, if you want to support this channel even more, please check out the Cafecito membership. You need to click on the join button down below to read more about that membership. It's a very cheap one and it helps this channel a lot. No pressure though, but if you get a chance, please take a look. Take a look at it. Awesome. Awesome. Thank you for being here, guys. Thank you for interacting with me. Thank you for asking questions. I appreciate you. Thank you. Janko, Juan, sorry, I'm butchering your username. Janko Juan or Janko Juan, I'm not sure, but you're welcome. De nada, de nada. Gracias. Hasta la próxima semana. Yep. See you next week, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. Muchas gracias por ver este en vivo. Espero que hayan aprendido varias cosas. I hope you learned a few things. And well, los veo la próxima semana. I'll see you next week. Take care. Thanks for watching. Gracias por ver este en vivo. Adiós. Bye.